old undefeated Danny Jacobs, in his 21st professional fight, faces Dmitry Pirog of Russia for a title belt.
Fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue with red and white, officially weighing 159 pounds. His professional record, a perfect one. 20 fights, 20 victories, including 17 knockouts. From Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York, the undefeated Daniel, the Golden Child, Jacobs. And fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue with black, official weight 160 pounds. Also, a perfect professional record consisting of 16 fights, 16 victories, including 13 knockouts. From Galenchik, Russia. From Russia with love, the undefeated Dmitry Pirog.
You're doing, give me a clean break. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Let's do this.
Difference in punching power, at least. And now the bell sounds for round number one. I have ridiculed the fact that the winner of that belt stripped it from Sergio Martinez, beat up Kelly Pavlik to clearly become the #1 middleweight and the legitimate middleweight champion of the world. Could have a terrific career in the sport, either of whom could conceivably someday be a legitimate middleweight champion. But to call him now, call one of the...
Well, right away you saw Danny Jacobs come by and try to land a big right hand. Facer, I think, an expression, I think he's developed a little respect for Dmitry at this point. And he's realizing that he's going to create a slight problem because it's not that easy to hit Pirog very well.
Well, the first thing everybody who has seen him says about Dmitry Pirog, and this was, he is a guy who bends at the waist, has a lot of movement, and he has watched American fighters.
Very, very relaxed.
Danny Jacobs fighting in a southpaw stance now.
Right now. He's not having the success he expected as easy, and so he's trying to make it to find out now.
Pirog. Now Jacobs goes back to his conventional stance. This is the way they'll match up against each other most of the night.
Shots. There we go.
Good right hand by Pirog. Leaned into it for him.
Jacob still has not found a way that upper body movement is really creating a problem for him.
Seemed to land more punches, but the best punch of the round might have been the left hand from Pirog.
Short combinations when you get close. Don't go over the top. Bring them up.
All right, come on,
Stay focused.
Or whether his cornermen have simply found out it's extremely convenient that they can buy jerseys. Number 27, Brandon Jacobs, the running back for the Giants.
Pick him up.
Danny Jacobs had his corner in Victor Roundtree. Very, very good. I was going to say, but
right hand by Pirog. Jacobs almost went down.
I was going to say, but he's trying to figure out a victory strategy for Jacobs tonight.
That's a good body shot with a left hand by Pirog. Right now, Pirog's the aggressor earlier in the fight, and he landed a big right hand here in the second round that has Daniel Jacobs. You were about to say that Jacobs' terrific trainer, Victor Roundtree,
He's have his hands full tonight,
yep,
trying to plot a strategy, because I know they were not expecting this type of a fight from Pirog. Pirog is a very,
on this stage. It's like he lives in Vegas.
I was, yeah, especially when it is his first time fighting. You're going to say he trips your attending fights.
Says he's only been here a week. Says he didn't take that all that easily to American food. Didn't go to the Russian restaurant here in the hotel. He's beating Jacobs up in this round.
When I was, I'm a very big fan of Danny Jacobs, and I may not looked at much, but he's a very difficult guy to fight, because he'd been studying him, I guess, being from Europe himself.
Recover from the unexpected loss that derailed his career. It's tough.
Tonight, he fought last night. So.
Andy's won several fights.
Yeah, but he's still trying to get a key fight. So I think,
there's an improvisational quality to what Pirog does, and Daniel doesn't seem really.
Pirog does things that you really have to look very closely as a real good boxing guy to really study. As I said, he moves his head in and out, changes, gives you angles, changes, and punches from those pivots. He's pivoting.
After looking at him on videotape,
break.
reminded me of a younger, slightly bigger Javier Castillejo. Remember Castillejo?
Yep.
Fought against Vargas, fought against De La Hoya, etc. Castillejo was long-armed, more conventional than Pirog.
No, I can see the Ray Leonard moves a lot. Not as fast in the front row, but he's twisting pivots. But he's a pressure fighter, which is amazing.
He moves his head to the inside.
Yep.
You got me?
Landing punches, and I think the biggest problem that Jacobs had, he didn't know where they was coming from because it's such a different variety of punches. And the right hand getting knocked down.
Strong legs kept Jacobs from going to the canvas.
But I got to tell you something. I disagree with Emmanuel Stewart. That should have been a knockdown. Those ropes were holding this guy up. Bird gave him a break on that call. He's caught up in those ropes. Be as it may, Danny Jacobs probably pulled out the first round with good, strong right
Jacobs
hand.
in round one. CompuBox numbers clearly favored Pirog.
I didn't see the ropes holding. He was bending forward.
I think it was a pretty close call.
He was bending forward when he regained his balance, and not that he was back in the ropes holding where he would have fell out of the ropes.
I was watching his butt
I
on the replay looking for exactly that, and I took the rope instead of on it. But it was a very close call. Certainly Bird.
I think the more important problem is Danny Jacobs trying to figure out the movements and the pressure that's being applied to him from all
Not a good place. But Pirog has him against the ropes again. And now there's a look of concern on Jacobs' face. Mysteries in there for him, which need to be solved.
I saw that look after the first 30 seconds. They had rehearsed and planned. So, you just have to make adjustments if you can. You realize you got a very talented fighter.
Just because Pirog did not star in the Russian amateur program and go to the Olympics, several Russian fighters have gotten from their Olympic action. A lot of people might have thought, maybe he's better because he has trained himself into a more American style.
Tapes of Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Look at the head movement there.
Was over there neither.
You're fighting somebody from Russia if you're looking for not here. This guy is a mover.
Well, what's interesting to me is the pressure that he's putting on. Danny. He's making Danny fight and move a lot faster than I think Danny wants to.
Right hand by Jacobs.
Good, man. I think he'd be a pro.
That may help his composure.
Yep.
I know he cannot fight going backwards. Keep him more balanced. Don't let him.
Right here, you can see the great defense of Pirog, which is his upper body movement. He pivots and turns, good head movement. Punches, even if you hit him with one punch. Right here, you see Jacobs in a beautiful, clean right hand. Probably the best punch he's landed tonight. But he's going to have to be in great shape tonight because he's going to have pressure on him all night long.
Given that Pirog has already landed 3 or 4 of those kinds of damaging shots with both the left and the right hands. Good body shot by Jacobs. Pirog leaned into that one. CompuBox numbers in the third round favored Jacobs. 13 out of 75 to 6 of 40. Jacobs back in that southpaw stance. Seems to feel he maybe has a chance to land a power left hand out of this stance than out of his conventional stance, Emmanuel.
Well, I still can't figure it. I haven't saw him land too much, except the first time he did it, he was able to land a looping left hand. But, it's risky when you're fighting a guy doing anything that's experimental, so to say.
Stop.
Pirog's got a little bit of showboat in him, too.
Definitely not your regular.
Talking to Jacobs in there. Jacobs hammering to the body. I don't suppose Pirog is speaking.
What surprised me, a lot of these guys, they speak a lot better English than they let you on to think. Because most of them had it standard in their school over there. They try to let you think that they don't speak, but they understand a lot of things when we're speaking to them.
Well, that was always the old Soviet persona. I mean, during the days who spoke perfect English were absolutely deaf and dumb when American reporters were around.
Yeah.
I think if I were in Jacobs' corner, Emmanuel, I might beg him to focus on the body for a while.
Yes. And then Jacobs has to try to throw his flurries. I think that the fight's going to be fairly competitive to a certain degree, but I'm just worried about the condition of Jacobs going down the stretch. Well, I don't think he's ever had this type of a pressure that's put on him. The guys come in very difficult pressure, too. Not a straight line pressure.
Well, Jacobs' biggest win was in August against Ishii Smith. Ishii Smith, much older than Pirog, not nearly as active.
A good round.
Here you see.
Everything is off the block. If you once you get your combination up, bring your defense back up. He come at you, catch, come back at him. All right, if you get him going.
This is something totally new to Jacobs right now, being hit with the punches that he's been hit with tonight, and then also opponent that he can't seem to control. And studying his expression, he seems to be adjusting very well.
8 out of 51. That makes it sound as though Jacobs eased to Pirog, who landed the more significant blow. So this is a fight in which CompuBox numbers may not be the case because of what an unusual style Pirog demonstrates in the ring. Good comeback left hook by Jacobs there.
You know, I think he just told him to hit me low, but a big issue of it, which I think is good.
Yeah, I didn't see anything really land low.
It was low, but I don't think it was intentional, and I don't think it was.
Oh, down goes Jacobs on a perfect right hand.
Right on time.
Maybe that.
It's over.
No way. Robert Byrd won't even finish the his arms, and Jacobs is gone on a knockout by Pirog. But you said it, Emmanuel. He's never seen it like the opponent with whom he was in there tonight. And Dmitry Pirog from Sergio Martinez, the legitimate middleweight. I doubt it.
After seeing Pirog is going to be a problem.
Here's the right hand, and boom. Jacobs was asleep, but alas, the knockout had already been scored.
But look at the body movement of Pirog coming in fight with a guy like him.
What a cagey, scary athlete he is.
Fights like an old veteran.
Improvisational style. All three judges had Jacobs up 3 rounds.
Middleweight champion of the world from Russia with love, Dmitry